GETTYPatrick Harvie has told Sturgeon he will not discuss the budget until she agrees, and overhaulGreens will tomorrow heap pressure on the First Minister to scrap the council tax in a Holyrood vote. Their motion also calls for a new cross-party group to be established before summer to start looking for a fairer replacement. The party's hard-left co-convener, Patrick Harvie, has already warned Ms Sturgeon he will refuse to enter discussions over next year's budget unless she agrees to a major overhaul. The Greens previously championed replacing council tax with a system based on land value, which would see bills soar for those in medium-sized and larger homes. Although tomorrow's ballot will not be binding, if successful, Greens will argue the minority SNP administration cannot ignore Parliament's will. When the Greens call for a fairer tax system, we all know what that means. Alexander Stewart. It comes after two Scottish government deals with the Greens that led to income tax rates on middle and higher earners. Scottish Tory local government spokesman Alexander Stewart said, "When the Greens call for a fairer tax system, we all know what that means. They want to punish hard workers across the country, even those on modest salaries, or living in very normal homes in certain parts of the country, would be hammered if this went through. Taxpayers in Scotland will be hoping the Greens' cosy relationship with the SNP, which has already seen two budgets go through, won't lead to these madcap changes to get a Nicola Sturgeon has been urged to resist madcap demands for a property tax shake-up. The SNP promised to scrap council tax in its 2007 manifesto and replace it in 2011, but ministers ducked out in the wake of the 2015 Commission on Local Tax Reform, which called for sweeping changes to property taxes. Instead, ministers ended the council tax freeze while also increasing the levy for properties in the top four bands. In the Green Party manifesto in 2016 called for a locally set residential property tax. This would see those living in a Band D property and above paying more, with bills for Band G homes doubling and Band H tripling. Andy Whiteman, the Greens' local government spokesman, said, "The public are being penalised with an outdated, unfair system under which most households are paying the wrong amount. I hope other parties agree that after years of talking, it's deeds not words that count, and we must see movement on this issue before the summer." Scottish Labour finance spokesman James Kelly said, "The SNP came to power more than 10 years ago promising to scrap the unfair council tax. Yet its successive governments have failed to do so. Scottish Labour has put forward proposals which would see the council tax abolished and a new property tax introduced which would make 80% of households better off." Finance Secretary Derek Mackay said, "This government remains committed to making local taxation more progressive, and we have made clear that we are open to further dialogue on options for local tax reform." He added, ministers, together with the local government body COSLA, had launched a local governance review, which will make sure communities have more say about how public services in their area are run.